What's up, math scholars? Mrs. Harp here. We are going to learn about 1.2, day 2, intercept form. It's the final of the 3 forms. So we've got standard, vertex, and intercept. It's Monday. We're happy to be at school. Who's excited? I think somebody in the audience was booing. All right, so write down only what I put in the pink box. Intercept form is right here. This is what it looks like. I want to draw your attention to the fact there's 2 sets of parentheses now. So no parentheses, standard form. 1 set of parentheses, vertex form. 2 sets of parentheses, intercept form. Would you have to memorize that? No. Look at the formula board. Standard form has an example, no parentheses. Vertex form has an example, 1 set of parentheses. See that? And intercept form, 2 sets of parentheses. Okay. So go ahead and jot down that the P and the Q values actually stand for the x-intercepts, not the vertex today. X-intercepts. And then also that the vertex and the axis of symmetry have this formula. P plus Q over 2. That's the formula for the vertex and the axis of symmetry. Okay. Oh, and just like always, that A value out front stands for which way it opens, but you don't need to write that down if you've kind of got that understanding. All right, go ahead and jot down this equation. While you're writing it down, I'll go ahead and tell you this 2 out front will tell me that we're opening up and we're pretty skinny. It's just like always, we're looking at that number out front. So there's 2 sets of parentheses. That means we're in intercept form. And it also means that there's a P and a Q value. Instead of just knowing what the vertex is, you actually just know what the intercepts are. -3 would be my P value. That's my first intercept. +1 would be my Q value. That's my second intercept. So visually, these are going to be locations on the x-axis where the parabola crosses. I go ahead and just put 2 dots there. That's where it's going to touch that axis. All right, we have a brand new formula today for the axis of symmetry in the vertex. It's P plus Q over 2. And if you are a calculator using person, maybe it's just a good habit to put parentheses around that top to kind of keep that top grouped. So I'm going to put a -3 in for P, a 1 in for Q, group that top, and then divide it by 2. Go ahead and figure out what that equals. Or do mental math. Some people are typing, which is fine. You can do it mentally too. Did you get -1? Perfect. Okay, we have half the vertex right now. We know that the x value is -1. We still need the y value. Any ideas? Yep. Perfect. We're going to go back to the original equation. We're going to put a -1 in everywhere there's an x. So really the same method we used last Thursday on the standard form problems. And you can use mental math or you can type it in. Up to you. Go ahead and figure it out though. Ends up being 2 times 2 times -2, and that's -8. Okay, does that work for everybody? -8. So that's the vertex. I'm going to go to -1, -8, put my little dot there. -1, 2, 4, 6, 8, -8. And then all I have to do is connect those 3 dots, my 2 intercept dots with my vertex dot, and I've got my parabola. Now what's a good way you can check yourself, make sure you did this graph correctly? Yep. Oh yeah, we could. Like Nate's maybe thinking, let's plug in like -2 and see where that would be on the parabola. That would work. I didn't even think of that. There's another way I was thinking of. Put it into graph world. So everybody get yourself into graph world, type the equation in, and hopefully you remember where all those buttons are. We're going to move on to taking something from that intercept form and putting it into standard form. And you did it over the weekend in that homework. You know how, right? Foiling. Yeah. So jot it down and we'll have a little bit of foiling fun. In fact, I might just have you do this one by yourself. Just a reminder about that -2 though. You only want him to be distributed to the first group only. So when I distribute the -2 in, I'll have -2x minus 10 and then x minus 8. So I'm going to pause the video and allow you to finish that foiling all by yourself to practice. Okay? This one was slightly tricky. You have a double negative happening twice. -2x and -8 was a double negative. And -10 and -8 was a double negative. So just be careful. All right. Hey, thanks to a student in the class, they point out I forgot to write my little squared, so I gave them a ticket for finding my mistake. That was great. All right, we'll do one last problem then, and it's finding the minimum or the maximum value. You had a similar question last night. How would you find a minimum or maximum value? Should we FOIL it all out? No, we do not need to FOIL it all out. What should we do? First of all, show me with your arms which way this parabola is going. Opening down because the -5 out front, which means that this has a maximum. But how would we find that maximum? Find the vertex. Very good. So go ahead. This is your graduation problem. Go ahead and find the vertex of this equation. So just a hint, you will need to use that vertex formula that you learned today. All right, just to check this graduation problem, the biggest mistake I saw traveling through the room is the wrong P and Q values. P is -4 and Q is +2. It's opposite of what you would expect. It's because of those parentheses. Okay? So -4 plus 2 all over 2 ends up giving you a -1. And then when you plug that -1 here and here, and you calculate out the y value, it's 45. So -1, 45 is the maximum value. It's the vertex. Thumbs up if you graduated. Good job, everybody. Okay, your homework tonight is just to finish all those problems in the worksheet that you weren't assigned over the weekend. Because all of those problems I didn't assign you are the intercept form problems, okay? So thanks, everybody, for watching the video at home.